Good day, traders. Stacey Burke from Stacey Burke Trading. Daily currency levels for the British pound crosses on Monday, May 25th. Nothing on the major news calendar for the next couple of days until Wednesday. And first up, we have our pound Aussie today. Looking at our daily chart, we saw this pair move down last week before pulling back on Thursday, Friday, and consolidating. Monday, we're trading inside of that consolidation, but we, again, potentially could be in the middle of a still existing downward movement. This market has the potential to continue to move in the direction of the measured move. We traded off the 1850 level briefly, pulling back off of one full expansion of the beginning of the month, that 100% expansion. The second full expansion would take us down somewhere in the 71.75 area. Again, a full expansion from the upper box took us down to that 85.70 level. And again, currently we're consolidated inside of that Wednesday's big day down. When we look at our 4-hour chart, we can see this market has stops above the low of the week and the high of last week, or the swing high of the end of last week. If this market was to continue to move down, we do have a fairly large gap from back previously in November. A lot of traders ask, well, how far back do you go? And again, on the daily chart, we can see that this market has room to fall. And if it was to come through that 8500 level, testing stops, it could continue to fall further in that next 250 pip box. So again, 4-hour charts, we have stops back in that area, but on the daily we can see that clear. There is room for this market to continue to fall. When we look at our 15-minute chart, we can see that the market went up on Friday and gave a lower double peak into the U.S. and London sessions. We have swing trades from last Thursday's U.S. session and Wednesday night's U.S. session close, where there are still stops below those sessions. Friday's lows have been briefly touched before Asia trading upwards in that 50 pip range. We have one push up, two pushes with a lower high, and we currently could be possibly just taking the stops out now, but we could get a 1, 2, 3 stop hunt high to the highs of Asia at the open of Europe and London. Excuse me. If this market was to continue to trade above the Asian high and break through the 86.75 level, we could retest that peak formation from Friday's U.S. session. If the market did find some resistance up there and was to sell, push high, sell down, we have higher lows now forming for this market to clean out stops. If we do head towards the low of the day, again, there's lots of room for this market to fall and clear out profitable trades from last week's Thursday U.S. session. So currently, market has traded up. They've made the lower high. They've tapped out. We're in a consolidation. If we saw a stop hunt high or low, that would give us an indication of which direction the market may possibly trade. If it was to break out and pull back, we could see that market head in either direction. But again, currently in this consolidation, waiting for that next 12 candle window to open. Next up is our pound Canadian. Excuse me. Again, our daily chart, we have a pin hammer from Friday sitting above the triple zeros at 7,000. If it was to continue to fall and take out Thursday's bull candle, we could get a continuation of that move downwards for a measured move, testing that first full expansion of that upper rectangle and possibly even a continuation down through that lower 250 pip box towards the 6,500 level. Again, if this market was to find support at the triple zeros, we could have a retest of Friday's high and a move back up towards that 72.50 level. On our 4-hour chart, we can see that market is in consolidation, sitting just on top of the triple zeros. A breakout of either side of this rectangle could certainly be an interesting move. Currently, we've had the move down in consolidation. Second leg down in consolidation. Again, we could see a continuation of a measured move targeting stops below that 7,000 level. Excuse me. Again, on our 15-minute chart, the market briefly went above the 70.50 level, and the market had been trading off of that level on Friday, again giving us a double top formation. The market pushed up. We may get a second retest of that area on a stop hunt high for a move back down, and again there's lots of room targeting stops at the low of the day and the lows of Thursday. If the market was to trade above 70.50, breakout pullback, we could see a continuation targeting the trades from the U.S. session shorts. Pound Swiss, again, our daily chart, we briefly pulled back inside of last month's swing low before dropping down again and consolidating. We are inside of a micro trend line squeeze inside both peaks. In a consolidation, if this market breaks to either side, we could see a strong move in the downward direction to retest that lower 250 pip box. If the market was to move back up, we would test the highs of that swing high from last week and possibly retest the 2,000 level box. On our 4-hour chart, we can see that consolidation a little bit clearer. The previous month's low acting somewhat as a trading level currently. We do have a 1, 2, 3 showing up on the 4-hour. This hour's obviously got 2 more. This 4-hour chart's got 2 more hours to close, but we do have higher lows forming, which could possibly end up with a 3-push pattern for a move back down through these lows, testing the lows of last week. Our 15-minute chart, we can see that market has pulled back inside of Friday's range. We've had a push-up consolidation. We've extended that range as we head into the Europe Open. We could be testing the 1850 level for a 3-push stop hunt, possibly for a retest of the lows of the day, lows of Asia and the lows of the day, or we could get a breakout pullback and a stop hunt high or a 25 to 50 pip move up through the highs of Friday's session. Currently, we're trading underneath of that 3-peak pattern that Friday put up, and 1850 could act as a selling level once these stops are hit. Next up is our pound yen. Again, we had the trendline break last week and possibly now may have a retest or a swing retest of that lower 250 pip box. The market went into consolidation after breaking the trend line. It traded off of the 3250 level and went sideways. If this market was to drop down, we could get a retest of that low at 29.28. On our 4-hour chart, we can see again that consolidation. The market's trading sideways in a very tight range currently between 131.95 and 130.67. Again, if this market was to break through that swing low from Friday, there's not a lot to stop that market from retesting the lows of last week. Currently, the market is making a creeping trend downwards. Creeping trends usually resolve themselves fairly quickly. So if this market does break this low, we could see a fairly fast move or strong move headed towards the lows of last week and into that lower 250 pip box below the major round numbers. 130 could act as a support level, but again, currently we're trading sideways in the middle of that box. Our 15-minute chart, we can see that the market has pushed back into the previous Monday's high. The market traded above it and broke down through on Friday before retesting it in the U.S. session. Went into consolidation and then this morning made a stop hunt. Up top, drop before dropping down. We have stops above the high of the day, stops below the low of Asia. We need to see something happen either up top or down at the low of the day to give us some direction. Either a stop hunt high, hitting the stops for a move back down, or a break through the low of the day and a pullback and a continuation retesting the swing lows of earlier in the day, the U.S. session, and Friday's London session lows. Next up is our pound New Zealand. Again, our daily chart, we had a fairly strong move down. This market has the presentation of possibly making a measured move. For continuing that move, we have stops below the lows back in March. The market briefly tested that level without clearing through it. It pulled back and is trading underneath of the round numbers, the 2.000 level. It's been in a tight consolidation with pinning through that level. If this market was to retest the low, we would have a full expansion of that upper box complete. And if it was to trade through that 98.50 level, we could see it move fairly quickly down through that lower 250 pip box. And if it was a measured move, this market has a full expansion, a second full expansion down at the 9,300 level. Again, just currently sideways. How it handles this 000 level will be really important. You can see that consolidation a bit clearer on the 4-hour chart. We have 1 push, 2 push, 3 pushes with a pin, dropping down and going sideways. This market's either going to pop back above 2,000 to retest the stops and move back up into that upper 250 pip box from previous swing highs last week, or drop down and retest the lows, and we could see a fairly strong move south if that happens. Again, we had 3 peaks form after Thursday. We had the big move up, and then 1 push, 2 push, 3 pushes with a 1, 2, 3 on Friday before dropping down, consolidating. We had a stop hunt in Asia this morning. The market traded down off of that 2,000 level, has since gone into consolidation. We have stops below the low of the day and below the swing lows. Again, stop hunt high, we could get a sell signal. There are a lot of stops at the lows right back until Wednesday. If the market was to stop hunt high and break through, pull back and retest the highs of Friday, we could see a fairly fast move back up to Wednesday's London highs, which is a 75-100 pip range for that to move back up. And there's not a lot in between to stop that. But again, we've had that 3 push pattern ending on a 1, 2, 3. This could be the peak formation for a continuation and a measured move down. Next up is our British pound. Again, similar, the market broke out briefly, pulled back from the previous month's lows, went into consolidation underneath the higher swing low, and has stayed underneath of there. If this market breaks through Friday's low, we could have a fast retest down to the low at 2,075. And again, this market has a second full expansion down further just around the 1875, 1900 level. There is a breakout trade that was down below 1800. 79.50. And again, this market had 1 push, 2 push, 3 pushes before dropping down, consolidating and breaking through. But again, how it handles this next couple of days or even today's session will give us an indication how fast that market may move if it's going down. Again, it pushed up with 3 pushes on the 4-hour, dropping down, giving that micro double top and consolidating inside of that peak. We'll just zoom in a bit here. And again, we have stops below the low of Friday and today's low, and as well as the lows of last week. The market has been pushing down. It will either break through or find some support on a second push for a breakthrough back up towards testing the 2250 level. On our 15-minute chart, we can see the market 1 push, 2 push, 1, 2, 3, dropping down, 1, 2, 3 on Thursday, dropping down, clearing out stops, breaking through Thursday's low. Okay, we're currently trading underneath of Thursday's low. Friday dropped down, went into consolidation, stop hunted in the US session before pulling back. Asia has done a stop hunt up as well. The market is stop hunting high. We're in a consolidation. If the market may possibly retest one more time up for a sell signal back down, taking out the lows. We have a consolidation underneath of that breakthrough. 1 push, 2 push, 3 pushes. And again, this market If it was to break the, so again, if this market was to break through the lows, stop hunt high, move down, hit stops, or break through and pull back and continue down, we have lots of space for this market to fall all the way down and possibly head back towards Monday's stops and Monday's low. And just closing, quote from Paul Tudor Jones: "Every day I assume every position I have is wrong." Just always play great defense, traders. Stick to your best A-trade setups. There's going to be some good trades today. Looks like we may have a few days of some fairly strong movement if these markets break these ranges. Have a great trading session, and may the markets go with you.
Hi traders, it's Stacey Burke from Stacey Burke Trading. If you haven't done so, please head over to my website at StaceyBurkeTrading.com. I create updates on almost a daily basis, and I would love for you to receive them. Just click on the blog. If you want to enter your name and your email address, I'll send you my free audio program, the 7-Step Daily Routine for High-Performance Traders. This is essential knowledge for all traders in all markets, and this is for helping traders to master the market with discipline, confidence, and a winning mindset. I appreciate all your feedback and comments. As always, traders, stay disciplined, and may the markets go with you.